On this recording, you will find two early pieces by Beethoven, quite different in style. The first, the Cantata on the Death of Joseph II, written by the 19-year-old Beethoven, and already with unbelievable assurance that tells us already so much about what he would do. The Second Symphony is a piece in which he shows us just what kind of a master he really is. Beethoven, through his entire life, took very adventurous harmonic language and systematically began to expand it into larger and larger forms. And in the Cantata on the Death of Joseph II, we're seeing him, hearing him doing this just about for the very first time.
I think it captures a kind of an innocence, although I wouldn't call it an innocent piece. We're hearing things that he was writing for the first time, and very well.
The piece is powerful, dramatic, full of very vivid contrasts, but here it has a particular fresh simplicity, which is unforgettable. Then there are some remarkable soprano arias, which are just about the most lyrical and beautiful music that Beethoven wrote for the voice, perhaps some of the most simple and affecting that Beethoven ever wrote.
It's just exquisitely beautiful music. The melody is to die for. It's written in such an intimate way that you cannot listen and not be touched by that.
What's unquestionable is that one knows this is by Beethoven. Even though he's 19 years old, the hands of the master are already there. You feel that you are being guided and shown these things by a musical intelligence and spirit that you know very well from these much more famous later pieces.
You know, because we all know the Ninth Symphony and we all know the later works, but we don't often get a chance to listen to these gems that he produced early.
And I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to bring it to life here, because it made so many fans, so many friends for the piece. It's one of those things, naturally, I don't know what this is, but then you hear it and you think, my goodness, this is really impressive. Beethoven's Second Symphony is really his first mature symphony, and he shows us just what kind of a master he really is, how he's learned the lessons from Haydn and Mozart and steps up to the plate and says, yeah, I can do this. The overall impression you get from this piece is one of elegant mastery. But if you listen to it more carefully, there's also a tremendous amount of drama and a lot of real risk-taking.
He knew who he was early on. You know, I think he was a confident guy, and I think he writes with humility, but he writes with conviction and confidence, and I think that is the string that ties all of his music together.
The Second Symphony really shows off the versatility of the wind section of the San Francisco Symphony. It requires great delicacy and also very great personality to play this music in an affecting way.
It's also perfect. You get finished and I'll turn to my colleague and I'll say, whoever's playing, I'll just say, well, there you have it. You know, I mean, there's just another little piece of perfection. And he wrote so exquisitely for winds too, woodwinds. So it's just, so much satisfaction for me playing Beethoven.
We try to approach this with a gestural panache and brilliance, and at the same time really a great clarity, so that every little note in whatever dynamic is spoken and reaches its target.